Oh man, look at all this. Look at all this. This is crazy.
You. Yeah.
Wait, what? Oh man, I had too much going on.
Mhm.
Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me? Man, I'm mad. You got your mic, man. I'm mad.
I mean, we're here. You know what I'm saying? We. I walked in today and just seen it sitting up here. I said, okay, it's just. But look, it's just a prop though. I mean, it ain't even legit, man. It ain't
Hey,
even
we do.
on, man.
Let's
You said what?
do our props thing. Let's do our props.
Keeps me grounded. Look, it keeps me grounded.
Hey, testing. Can you hear me good? Are we good?
Testing. Cool,
All
cool,
right.
cool. You said
I want to talk about this.
48 laws of power.
Yes.
What about
I
I
never
was
read.
thinking about it. I know you you said what?
I've never read it. However, the people that have, they basically was like, this teaches you how to manipulate people.
Yeah. So
You wrote your
so what made
words.
so that so what made you buy it? Like
I didn't.
uh,
It was
somebody gave it to you?
he left it here. He left it here.
Okay, okay, okay. So you haven't tapped into it at all.
No,
I read it a long time ago.
the whole book.
No,
What
no.
made you stop?
At the time,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like I was reading like the Bible. You know what I'm saying? And I was reading like I would do like little excerpts of that a little bit, and I just felt
Mm-hmm.
like it was a lot of contradiction. You know what I'm saying? Just in regards to just people, just the way you treat people in general. You know what I'm saying? And I just didn't like it because it just seemed like you said it's like it's one of those things that like it teaches people it teaches you how to use people like assets, you know what I'm saying? Use people to get the things that you want type thing,
Mm-hmm.
manipulation,
Yep, I heard
you
that too.
all that kind of stuff. So so my problem with that is, if that's what we're doing, what we're teaching people, you know what I'm saying? I'm gonna take it and I'm gonna utilize it in my little world to get the things that I want. And I feel that it's right, to do that. But then I would also see those same people turn around and like when somebody's using it against them, you know what I'm saying, we give it a name. You know what I'm saying? Now it has a name. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? It's 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 like, what I'm saying, discrimination, harassment, theft, you know what I'm saying? Now when I'm on the receiving end of it, it's a bad thing. So typically for me, like something that I'm going to incorporate or something that's going to be good is going to be something that, that whole live by the sword, die by the sword type thing. You know what I'm saying? I don't mind people that, I mean, there's people that's like the Bible to them. You know what I'm saying?
Really?
And I don't mind it. I don't mind it. It's just if you're gonna if that's the sword you're gonna live by. You know what I'm saying? When if you get slayed to it, don't cry. Don't cry and complain. You know what I'm saying? That's all. That was kind of my take on it.
So does it teach you self-control? Like how to control your emotions? The reason I say that is because, okay, I'm reading some of these laws. I was listening to you.
Okay.
Um, okay, I'll just Uh, I just read the laws. Okay. I'm not going to go through all 48. Law one is never outshine the master. Two, never put too much trust in friends. Learn how to use enemies.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Conceal your intentions. Four, always say less than necessary. Law five, so much depends on reputation. Guard it with your life. More. 16, use absence to increase respect and honor. Um, crush your enemy totally. That was 15.
Whoa, okay.
14, pose as a friend, work as a spy. Uh-huh.
Yeah. Yeah.
That
These
is very interesting. Very pose as a friend, work as a spy. That's crazy.
yeah.
When asking for help, appeal to people's self-interest, never to their mercy or gratitude. That was 13. And I'll just say one more. Use selective honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. So yeah, that post as a friend, work as a spy. That one.
Wow. To disarm your victim. I mean, look at the words to that, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
To disarm your victim.
This week.
They
Yeah.
yeah. I know it's a lot of people. It's a lot of people that love the book, and I think there's some things in there that's maybe worthwhile. It's worth reading. The problem with it though is books like that they have like they create there's like byproducts that come from it. You know what I'm saying? So if
But
ever
does this book teach you good intentions?
what was that? What'd you say? Use selective honesty to disarm your victim. You know what I'm saying?
Hold on.
Like, do you even understand like just the concept of a victim? You know what I'm saying?
Honesty and generosity to disarm your victim. One sincere and honest move will cover over dozens of dishonest ones. Open-hearted gestures of honesty and generosity bring down the guard of even the most suspicious people. Once your selective honesty opens a hole in their armor, you can deceive and manipulate them at will. A timely gift, a Trojan horse, will serve the same purpose.
So
Manipulation.
so 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 to answer your question, you know what I'm saying? Would you say good intentions? Like, is that what you asked?
Yes, like what is the purpose? Is this to protect yourself, or is this for yourself, or is this more for do harm to
It's,
others?
I mean, it's the quest for power. You know what I'm saying? It's the quest to be able to move this room. You know what I'm saying? At will, kind of. You know what I'm saying? Um, I guess, and for some reason, it's like the power that people want is they want like dominating power. You know what I'm saying? I want to ascend over a select group of, you know what I'm saying, a defined group of people, if not all.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying? And that's the only. So it's kind of it's one of those things like there is this world that we live in that you know what I'm saying, I think you could argue and you could say it is beneficial in some what's the word, like ecosystems, you know what I'm saying, small, like of the world, in the business realm, in the business world, a book like this probably is super powerful. You know what I'm saying? In an economy that we've established, this book is probably super powerful. If we start talking about trying to optimize like humanity though, like people, no. This book is terrible. This book is terrible. So, you know what I'm saying? But it works because, you know what I'm saying, uh it works because the only world everybody can see is the one that we're like currently in. You know what I'm saying? Nobody, no, you can't see anything beyond. No, but we can't see anything beyond that. You know what I'm saying? We can't see anything better. You know, uh, I always joke when I talk about like the world today. It's like a it's I said it's like a company that picked a product or a service or implemented a policy or something that didn't quite work. You know what I'm saying? Like it did not quite work out. And instead of going back, you know what I'm saying, because of everything that's come from it, what we do is we just start implementing workarounds. You know what I'm saying? So to me, like the 48 laws of power are really like workarounds to they're workarounds to like this like messed up concept, you know, that we kind of have, really. I mean, huh?
Of dominance. Or
Yeah, I mean, because
control, that dominance control.
yeah, 48 laws, 48 laws of power. You know, thinking you're reading it from a standpoint that you're on the top. You're on. You know what I'm saying? You desire or are on top of the mountain. You know what I'm saying? Completely negating the victims. You know what I'm saying? And one person, you know what I'm saying, one person reading the book can affect, you know what I'm saying, one to infinite amount of people. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's when I talk about the byproduct. So then what happens is now I'm in this environment. I see how I have to move. You know what I'm saying? Yes, concealing myself and doing this and doing this. That's how I have to get to the next step. You know, um, that's that like puts me in this whole place of, you know, with our current administration, like with everything going on. You know what I'm saying, that we're dealing with. I think what we're seeing is we're seeing business concepts like no longer within like company walls. Now we're seeing business concepts being applied wide open. You know what I'm saying? In the open, in front of everybody's face. Nobody's saying anything. Nobody's really. I mean, people we're complaining. You know what I'm saying? But it's not alarming. You know what I'm saying? Alarming would be uh, alarming would be like to see, I don't know, a shocking video of somebody with like a 12-year-old kid. That's alarming. That's going to cause people to shut things down. We gotta move. What's going on out here isn't alarming because, man, most people see it every day when they go to work.
Okay, give an example. What are those things?
Seeing it every day. I mean, I think you see things like, and this isn't a bashing of an administration, but from the thing that kills me the most, or not kills me the most, but one of the things that kills me is when I see some of these people get in front of some of these committees and they have to answer these questions. You know what I'm saying? And they got to answer these questions, and the people are asking them questions. They're getting frustrated, and these people have like, I mean, very simple answers. I mean, you can tell they're sitting there playing a game. You know what I'm saying? If we're also, but again, we're constrained to these, you rules and all this kind of, but we can clearly see you're playing games. We're seeing that on a global scale, but that's also what happens in the workplace. You know what I'm saying? I think I think we see it a lot. I think we see it a lot, even dealing with like I'm trying to be careful. Even dealing with like union issues, you know what I'm saying, or discrimination issues,
Oh, Lord.
or you know what I'm saying. When you sit there, man, and we're talking about like this thing that happened, and I'm gonna tell you, man, like
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I I I hate. I mean, that's a pretty good word. I hate the is it so when you go to work, right? And
Right.
you'll be in a you'll go to orientation, you know what I'm saying? You're sitting there and the HR rep comes in there and you know what I'm saying, they're talking to you and they give you your little book, and they read through and they say, we're a zero tolerance organization. We do not stand for harassment, da 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 da. And we talk about like our core values. We have them right here in 24 karat gold lettering. You know what I'm saying, on his platform that says like things like honesty, integrity, and you know what I'm saying, just all these things, right?
Right.
And these do not get these. This is applied subjectively. You know what I'm saying? I've never seen so many organizations lie and be deceitful and still brief this. You know what I'm saying? That's crazy. So you know what I'm saying? So like I said, so you come in, they show you all this stuff, and you know, and people believe it, you know what I'm saying? And then you look up one day and you're having an issue with somebody at the job, you know what I'm saying? A supervisor, or you know what I'm saying, a man, somebody in some chain of command somewhere, and then you go to report it, and then you really see, you know what I'm saying, like the pot, you know what I'm saying, you really see like what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
There's hoops you gotta jump through. I mean, I've heard I've heard on a few occasions where you'll have like somebody at a company, organization, or whatever get dinged for like sexual harassment or something, right?
Mm-hmm.
Sexual harassment, sexual assault or something, and you'll look up, and the company will take action. And what they'll do is they'll take this person, you know what I'm saying, who clearly, you know what I'm saying, just this is I mean this is clearly, this is a clear no. You know what I'm saying? And I
Right.
say like there's a list of things that you just don't do. You know what I'm saying? You and people act like, oh, I didn't know. I didn't know,
And I was just about to say that there's clearly things that people don't know what to do, and it's like, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, because when you was like saying I don't know, and it's like they can't say I don't know. They
they
can't
do.
say, they cannot say
They're
that. We live in a world.
they're saying it at the top. You know what I'm saying? Like they're saying it at the top when these people say stuff like, how is this gonna, you know what I'm saying, to the American people, or what about this, you know, what was the one I saw when they they had my man up there with they had his fist. No. It was the guy who they said was putting up the middle finger, and I think he was like
Oh,
this or
he
something.
did the peace sign. and
Yeah.
they,
So he's
or
like
he did like,
this.
it was this finger,
And
and then, but then it made it look like he did
and
it.
they're
That
clearly,
lady
you know what I'm
came
saying?
with their fingers.
Come on, man. They're clearly up there, you know what I'm saying? Talking
Like that
crazy.
shit right there. But then again, okay, so not to cut you off, because in that video, they still
They
continue to talk
still
as if,
continue. Why are we still talking to her, man?
why did nobody tell her, ma'am, sit down? That,
Revoke everything.
like, they
Revoke
knew. You can't say
everything.
I didn't know. You can't say I didn't know, because that was that tripped me out. She was like, no, he did the peace sign. They literally just took this picture.
You know what I'm
Man,
saying?
what? And when she brought
Shenanigans,
the
man.
picture behind her head, hey, I died. I died.
So
We gotta find that video. We gotta find that video and see if you can find it on here. Hey.
this is the top level. You know what I'm saying? This is supposed to be the example. So what we're saying is, man, if that's what you can do at that level, I mean, regular everyday citizens don't have a shot, man. They don't have a chance, and
No.
they don't have a chance. And what's crazy is you have these 48 laws of power. To kind of go back to it a little bit, is they're not even implementing these necessarily with like combatants of equal power. You know what I'm saying? It's like I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna apply this to, like I said, literally crush. But I don't think it's necessarily a sense of crush in regards to like enemies, like kill them. I think it is you crush their spirit, you crush their self-esteem, and like that. And that's why I talk about the whole. So now you got to buy it back.
They damaged them.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But I just don't get how, you know what I'm saying, a game like that, man, dude. I would come unglued. You know what I'm saying? Hey man, this is done. Get her out of here. You know what I'm saying? I need to talk to the next person in line. You know what I'm saying? And the
Yeah.
reason why it bothers me is because they're doing this, you know what I'm saying, and playing games with, when we start talking about like real assets, real money, real decisions that impact people, like millions of people. And they're playing these games, but then when you're late to work 3 times, you know what I'm saying? You don't you don't have any discipline. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You don't have integrity.
You
And the
didn't
person
follow
that's
them. It's all
saying
about
this,
the mission. It's all about the mission. It's
come
all about the
on, man.
mission.
And the person that's saying this, that you don't have integrity, you know what I'm saying? Because maybe, you know what I'm saying, I don't know, you got held up in traffic, or you just woke up late. You know what I'm saying? They're telling you you don't have integrity while they're sitting there in front of the committee talking about this individual putting up the middle finger, knowing they photoshopped this. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, that dude was putting a peace sign.
There was the other one where they had the I think the dude that got deported, and it was like the MS thing, right?
Did I see?
And
Did you send it to me?
I don't know if I did or not, but and I didn't look any further into it, but they said that the guy was part of a gang, and that's why that's why he was deported, and they photoshopped like these like tattoos, I guess, on his fingers or something. So they were just asking about it. You know what I'm saying? Is
Mm-hmm.
this like does this look photo? And they start talking around, man. They start talking around the question. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I don't even need you to think yes or no. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you. Hit me with a yes or no, and then we can go into an explanation. But let's just start with yes or no.
It don't work like that. It don't work like that.
You know,
Because
and so
you know they
so
get a time limit to answer their questions.
you said what?
I believe they are the ones. Are they the ones that give a time limit? when they, you know how when they be like, I got my, you know, they get like 45 seconds or whatever to talk.
Yeah. I just need yes or no. I would even tell them. I just want yes or no, and then you can give me I'll give you the time limit for the explanation. But before we do that, yes or no. Does this look Photoshop to you? You know what I'm saying? Yes or no. Does you know what I'm saying? Is that the actual picture? You know? Because now what we're seeing, man, is we're seeing malicious intent. You know what I'm saying? And if you are knowingly producing false documents, you know what I'm saying, you are trying to manipulate. I'm sorry, trust is gone. You know what I'm saying? And at that point in time, these guys, at that point in time, how are you any different than these quote unquote criminals that you're trying to deport, man? And to me, that's why I feel like, unfortunately, and this is the same thing in a lot of organizations. And this is, again, we are seeing business in action. You know what I'm saying? When we started seeing things like when we started seeing decisions get made with absolutely no idea of the consequences, you know what I'm saying? We just want it done. We're seeing, like, we've exposed how businesses operate behind closed doors. You know, and I'm sorry, man. When I have friends and family, you know what I'm saying? Not even friends and family. When I hear about people, you know what I'm saying, that especially, you know what I'm saying, especially when you help out on cases here or there, you know what I'm saying, just doing things. When you hear about all the stuff that these people got to go through, you know what I'm saying, and then you see all that going on, it's like, what's really going on here, man? You know, when I started getting involved, like, with some stuff, and I started dealing with, like, the Title VII. I don't. I didn't know it was going this route, but we're here now. You know what I'm saying? But when it came down to, like, the Title VII, you know, every organization or whatever company, you have to post what, like, the EOC posters. You know what I'm saying? Let the people know that you care. You know, so, which is crazy because it's still a minimal requirement. Like, they're not putting it up there because, you need to be informed or they want you to know your rights. It's kind of because they have to, and it's probably due to some law that happened or something. You know what I'm saying? It has to be displayed in plain sight. You know what I'm saying? Where people congregate, and, you know what I'm saying, which would typically is like the break room or some message board or something, right? Yeah. So it's sad, man. So many times I've had to tell people that you have to understand, like, harassment and discrimination by itself is not illegal. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It's not. Huh?
That's fine. Explain that if you don't mind.
Yeah. If you read it, it's written quite well. You know what I'm saying? But you have to read the whole thing, and it's discrimination and all that stuff isn't applicable until it is for you know what I'm saying, you're being discriminated due to a certain protected class. You know what I'm saying? So if
Oh, that aspect. Okay.
yeah, so, if you go to court, if you go and you file discrimination or harassment against a company, and when you go to court, the first thing you have to do is you have to convince the court that you're in a protected class, and that's where most people lose at.
That it only is happening to you for a particular reason. No one else.
Particularly due to that, that is happening to you because of your race, sex, gender, religion, disability. You know what I'm saying? It's a handful of things, but this action is happening to you because of this, not because this action is happening to you. It's happening to you because of this. That's when it's illegal. You know what I'm saying? That's when it's illegal. But you know, we run around and we talk about like EO and all that stuff. I wish you know, as swiftly as they got rid of what DEI, diversity, equity, inclusion. I just wish that they were that swift with some of this other stuff. You know what I'm saying?
They got rid of that whole department, didn't
Hey man, they've gotten rid of DEI, like employees and programs and organizations, and some of these organizations and companies still have people employed there that have, again, sexually harassed employees that still work there. You know what I'm saying? And when I say, I'm talking about like not necessarily just a claim. I'm talking about they were like, it was found that the act was substantiated, and you know these people got, you know what I'm saying, got money, but we're just going to move the person around the corner or move them to another department. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to get rid of them. You know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, I've been in the room. You know what I'm saying? Nah, that's, you know, he just got married. They just got married. Nah, he just bought a new house. We can't put them out there like that. But you're late 3 times. You're late 3 times. Hey man, hey, I don't care that you're not going to be able to put food on the table. You should have thought about that. You should have thought about that before you got stuck in traffic.
Crazy. Should have left early. Should have gave yourself some.
You should have left earlier. You should have left earlier. You know what I'm saying? I know. I get to, you know what I'm saying? I get to park here, you know what I'm saying, with my benefits. I get to park closer, you know what I'm saying? And I get to wander in. I get to wander in a little, you know what I'm saying, a little late too, you know what I'm saying? Or, you know what? I can just call and I'm hey guys, I'm gonna work from home today. You know what I'm saying? It's just different. It's just different. It's just different stuff, man. You know what I'm saying?
Crazy.
So I don't know how. Oh, we were talking about this whole this whole
Wait,
that whole thing.
I'm about to go back and read some more from. Okay, that was law 12 with the victim. You hear him snoring? The dog. Right back.
I thought you would turn the page or something.
I am.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, is that sound the dog snoring? I said, wow, that's very irregular.
Hey, he is snoring.
Nah, I thought when you were turning the page, I thought the page turning was the snoring.
Okay. Keys to power.
Hey, let me say this though. I do think that those I think those, what was it, like the Civil Rights Act of like 1964 or something. I really do think that those are outdated.
Hey, you had to get up, huh?
I really do think. Hey man, let me tell you, like, if there was one thing I could champion, that would be, that would definitely be on the list. You know what I'm saying? It's because I think everybody deserves to go to work and be treated like a person. You know what I'm saying? And the way, when you look at how these companies are designed, they are, it's almost like they are designed to punch down. I mean, that's I think that's the best way. They're designed to punch down on like the people that's actually moving the company forward, real, you know what I'm saying, in all honesty, you know what I'm saying? Which is
Hold on,
crazy. You know what I'm saying? This is I'm gonna say it's not, I'm gonna let you get back. Conspiracy or whatever, you know what I'm saying? This is me. This is me thinking about it. But like when we did the work from home, like when and you always heard it from like these CEOs, you know what I'm saying? Like these
What?
people that are not reporting to an office, you know what I'm saying, 200 some days out of the year. You know what I'm saying? They're not
Right.
doing that. You know what I'm
They're not
saying?
doing that.
So we're hearing about how, you know, these return to office, and you know, you don't come in, you're fired. We'll perceive that as a
No,
resignation, and it was just a
how
big.
about the COVID shot or you're fired?
This is why the COVID shot is. This is why the COVID shot is so important to me. The COVID shot was very important because we got
No,
to
I'm just thinking
see,
about how jobs were saying like you had to take the COVID shot or you're getting fired.
and that's what I'm saying. It was very important because we got to see how far they're willing to go. You know what I'm saying? We got to see how far companies, like how far this thing can stretch. So what we know is, we know that if it's important enough, you know what I'm saying,
Mhm.
you guys will take action. You know what I'm saying? So what I don't understand is, you have people running around that said they didn't want to take a shot, get up out of here. And then we have people that was clapping. You know what I'm saying? We gave them a name. You know what I'm saying? We gave them a name, non-vaxxers. You know what I'm saying? they had a you know what I'm saying,
Yes.
non-vaxxers hated
Sorry,
they,
life and shit, man. Woo.
non-vaxxers hated progress. They were trying to kill everybody. You know what I'm saying? They were irresponsible. And so companies said, for the sake of public safety, if you're not willing to get the shot, you're out of here. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So what I don't understand is, I, I don't understand then, why is it so hard to get somebody out of an organization that is toxic?
Right.
But you know, toxic is very relevant. You know what I'm saying? I think toxic is relevant. You know what I'm saying? I mean, to a virus, you know what I'm saying, a vaccination is toxic. You know what I'm saying? Like, get that vac away from me. You know what I'm saying? I think it's toxic. You know what I'm saying? So so um I, I think that's why, you know, that I keep jumping all over the place. But when we're talking about like certain political things like that's going on a political level, I think what we've seen now is also that we can't trust human beings to have control of everything anymore. You know what I'm saying? We have we have to have checks and balances, and this isn't aimed at like this administration or the last one. This is aimed at 10 years from now. What's going on now is a blueprint. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
If
Yep.
we were to get somebody in here, which I feel like it's jacked up. I feel like in the world that some of these people live in,
Mhm.
that they, in their mind, they're doing the right thing for them. It's just
Oh.
it's just not for the masses. You know what I'm saying? But so they're taking care of themselves. What I'm talking about
Mhm.
is, I'm talking about the person that absolutely wants to come in. If we get like the Joker from the Dark Knight in real life, you know what I'm saying? Like, this guy just wants to create, somebody wants to create just chaos.
Mm.
What are we gonna
Mm.
do, man? You know, I mean, we have people, we literally have people sitting up, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, sitting up in front of a committee where there's real grown up things happening, you know what I'm saying? And they're saying stupid
Mhm.
stuff like, I've never read the Constitution. You know what I'm saying? I don't know if we're violating it or not. You know, what do you mean? You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna tell you why it doesn't fall. This is always my test for everything is, it wouldn't work if it was on the other way around. You know what I'm saying? If though these people that's doing that, they have their little companies that they work for, or if they're like on a shareholder in a company and they were to ask somebody, if I'm trying to get donors and sponsors for my company, I cannot sit in a room and say, I don't know, I never read that. You know what I'm saying? And everybody and we continue to move
No
forward.
knowledge.
People won't get up and walk out, man.
I have no knowledge. No knowledge.
Yeah, it's dangerous. It's dangerous, man. The precedent we're setting is dangerous. But go ahead, man. I'm sorry.
Um, I don't even know where to start. It's a lot. I don't know. I never read this book. Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark.
Let's talk about one. Like what's one that sounds interesting to you?
Play a sucker to catch a sucker.
Play a
Seem
sucker.
dumber than your mark.
You said what?
Play a sucker to catch a sucker. Seem dumber than your mark. And then it says judgment. No one likes feeling stupider than the next person. The trick then is to make your victims feel smart, and not just smart, but smarter than you are. Once convinced of this, they will never suspect that you may have ulterior motives.
Yeah, yeah, because they're high in the clouds. You know what I'm saying?
Play a
They're high
sucker
in the
to
clouds.
Now I will say I do this.
Do
And the reason I
what?
do this,
Do what?
I play,
Play a sucker.
I play a sucker to catch a sucker because, and I'm gonna use my own experience because that's the only thing I know.
Talk to me.
I Okay, so I've been stereotyped, um, and you know me, I'm not, I'm not out there, whatever. So people, I've been called, white proper and stuff like that. And then it's like once people get into, I guess when I allow people in my space and they get to see, how I am, how I live and all that stuff, it's like dang, I ain't know you. It's like I don't know how to say it. Like they already had this judgment of me, of how I lived, everything like that, until they actually get to know me. And then it's
Mm-hmm.
like it's something totally different. So at that moment, I play a sucker once I find out you start doing this to me. I'm not gonna say anything, say, you gonna call me proper. I'm a laugh, but right there, I done already decided I'm about to act dingy. That's what I'm about to act. I'm about to act dingy to make you feel like you know everything. That's fine. I'm not gonna say anything. I'm not gonna judge. I'm listening. I'm just listening. That's it. Because at the end of the day, to say that to someone, period. I mean, what is your intention of being? Why would you even say that to somebody? But yet you want to be in my space. So now I'm questioning your intention. So I'm gonna play you because why are you around me if you feel that way towards me? Because that's nothing. Like, why would you? I don't know. It was like I've been stereotyped in a lot of assumptions, and of course, my face. I have the resting B face, so a lot of people assume certain things.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh, and how I'm always by myself type stuff. Um, so it's I play. I know how to play a role to figure out what's genuine or not, and that's kind of just I don't know if that's like putting your. Is that the same thing as like putting your guard up? That's the thing. Like, or am I confusing the two?
Play a sucker.
To catch
So
a sucker, seem dumber than your mark.
but see, then you get into like then you'll lose me with the whole concept of a mark. You know what I'm saying? Like a mark or victim, I have some intent. You know what I'm saying? I have some intent to do bad by you know what I'm saying to do bad by you. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
That's the only time you're if you're talking about I think you're talking about from a concept of like protecting your peace, right? So
Not necessarily.
well, what I'm saying is protect your peace is like so you're saying you're saying that like sometimes people like judge you and they'll say like you know you talk white, right? Is that
Right.
what is that what
I mean,
and you're saying
I don't say that. It's just more of, how just people make the assumption of you just based on how you speak
I,
or
yeah,
how you dress or, how you look. Like, just make the assumptions of that. And the entitlement or I, I don't know what it is for you to speak that out loud to that person
mm-hmm.
as if that person has like I have no right to respond back. That right there is I already know you my mark. So that's right there because
Yeah.
that's how I feel. But
I,
I'll say you my mark after the fact of okay, the one to bond and be be friends or hang out and stuff, and then it's like are you are you what was that one playing act as a friend but play as a spy? That's where my mind goes.
yeah. It's two things. It's two things that you know. Um, I always tell people sometimes, and sometimes I think that people, I think we take things that happen because they're happening to us. We take them personal. You know what I'm saying?
Understand?
I don't think I've heard. I mean, like I've heard that before. I heard that growing up. You know what I'm saying? Even if it comes down to I don't know. Even if it comes down to certain things, I think that certain things that I do with certain behavior, you know what I'm saying? You're outside of a box or a world that, you know what I'm saying, typically that person is living in. So when I hear somebody say, like if I heard somebody say that, to me, I wouldn't look anything at you. I wouldn't feel like you're just more of a you're more of a is stimulus the word?
Based on what you said, yeah, I'm more of a what?
Them talking to you and you know what I'm saying and you talking a certain way is like a stimuli to like the world that they live in. You know what I'm saying? It's like going to the moon and finding a new rock, like, oh my God. This isn't like anything that we have in our world. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's more or less like that, where to
No,
me
but it's not deemed as something as I don't know. It's not
and I'm,
something
I'm gonna
as
tell you. I'm gonna tell you why I'm gonna say it because in reality, there is no such thing as talking white. You know what I'm saying? In order to talk white, you have to. You know what I'm saying? In order to me, it's like it exposes one's beliefs more than anything. There is no such thing as talking white. It's funny. It works in comedy. You know what I'm saying? It works from an observational standpoint. But when we get down to the nitty gritty, nobody's putting their whole bank account. Nobody's going to walk into a room with 50 different audible sounds and say, or 10 different audible sounds and say, I'll put up my life savings. I could tell you what color each one of these voices are. Nobody, no,
uh,
nobody, nobody is, you know what I'm saying? And if somebody would, I would love to take them up on that offer. I would love. I mean, I guess I wouldn't mind. It wouldn't be taking advantage. I would love to see if people would put their money where their mouth is at. I don't think you could do it.
Mm.
I do not think you could do it. And to be so confident, I would be like, and you only get 7 seconds. You know what I'm saying? You're not going to be able to sit there and be like, man, I don't know. You know, see, if you're so confident, you know what I'm saying? We're going to give you 7 seconds, and I want you to give me the skin color of each one of these voices, and that's all we're going to do. We're just going to play the audible. So talking white, talking black, you got to understand it is like it is like there. It's more or less like a violation of an idea than anything. You know what I'm saying? So to me, I guess I've never looked. If anybody said that about me, you know what I'm saying? It's like they're not talking about me. You know what I'm saying? There's something they're observing that is violating what their beliefs. You know what I'm saying? It's violating their norm. So generally speaking, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh, okay. So, you know, maybe they don't believe, maybe, and this is super stereotyping, but maybe, you know what I'm saying? They don't believe in sounding out the complete word. You know what I'm saying? They we're sounding out words with apostrophes at the end. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Chill in instead of chilling. You know what I'm saying? And all this other kind of stuff. So there's generally a different. It's like visiting another country almost. You know what I'm saying? The dialect is different, and that's kind of what you see. So to me, it's more of an awareness of who you're dealing with. I don't think it's always malicious, though. I think it's sold as that.
Yeah,
I don't think it's always malicious.
True. Yeah. I don't want to say it's like malicious. I don't want to say everybody that said that had bad intentions. It's just the person that is being said to me, I'm in my head, I'm thinking, now what made you say that? Or what made you think that I might not respond when you say, I don't know. It's like,
What
am I supposed to?
What is there to respond to, though?
I mean, if I put it like this, if you, I don't want to hear that shit.
I mean, but it's just what they hear. But why? But I'm that's what I'm saying. Like, why would it bother you, though?
Because why do you think you can say that to me like I'm just supposed to take it? I know I don't say anything to you about how you talk and how you live, so why do you think you can say that to me?
Well, I mean, I think anybody could say that. Like, so when we be talking, and
No,
I'll be
you
like,
can say it, but expect a you might just expect a response, and it might not be a good one.
well, why wouldn't it be good though?
Because I don't want to hear it. The person that is being said to, do you think they want to hear that?
I think it would bother me if I knew or I felt like it wouldn't bother me. You know what I'm saying? If I felt like they were saying it to be like malicious, I'm just out. You know me, like I'm out. I'm not gonna sit here. I'm not gonna sit here and waste my time with such ignorance. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
For one. But if somebody says that, you know what I'm saying, and they sit there and they say something, a lot of times I think what we do is, man, we try to process other people's actions we try to take the actions that we perceive to them and put them through our thought processes. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like, if I was to say that, this is what I would mean. This is why I would be saying it. But they absolutely may not be meaning it like that. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
So what happens is we end up, you know what I'm saying? And I think that's how like sometimes when it comes to like group dynamics is that's how one person, both parties are perceiving the other one as the aggressor, the initiator. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Both parties are responding to all the actions going on, but they're perceiving them different, and that's how these things blow up. You know what I'm saying? But at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? It's like, if somebody comes in and they say, hey man, you talk white, and it's like, and, and me, I'm just to the point now. I just ask questions, man. I'd be like, why? I'd be like, why? Do is it because of the way I pronounce my words? Is it
But that's
is it
what I'm saying.
tone?
Why
So
like
let me
you
so
think
let
I
me
want to
ask
hear
you
that shit? Like I don't want to. What?
so let me ask you a question. So 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 when we recorded when we yesterday, the party,
Mm-hmm.
obviously I didn't know that you could hear in the background. You know what I'm saying? Yesterday, but when we were talking earlier, and there was a couple of people that said, I can't remember what we were talking about, but some kind of way I was the subject, and somebody said I think somebody said like they said, man, he likes white girls or something. You know what I'm saying? And I've heard this. I've
This
heard
was
this.
yesterday.
Yes, I've heard this. I've heard this on numerous occasions. So I mean, is
You
this one
heard
of
the person say that?
huh?
You know who said that? Was it like a female or a male voice, or you
Yeah,
just
but
don't
I've heard
know?
it multiple times though. I've heard it multiple times.
Same thing.
So, but you know what I'm saying?
That's,
If I could take that and get mad. You know what I'm saying? If that's what I wanted to do, but get mad for what? You know what I'm saying? Now I'm trying to understand. I'm just trying to understand the person that's sitting here. So I ask a question. I'll be like, so we have fun with it. We're laughing and everything. You know what I'm saying? I'm just like, what makes you think? What makes you think like you looked at me? You know what I'm saying? You heard me. You've heard me talk. You know what I'm saying? You seen me interact, and you said this guy likes white girls. And I just said, what is it? What do you see? You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's how you get a. I think that's how you get a. It's like sonar or something. You know what I'm saying? That's how you get an idea of where you are, kind of in space. If you see how others are perceiving that,
oh
and the
yeah.
answers the answers are. I mean, and when you hear, sometimes you be like, wow, I didn't even think about that. But
Mm.
over time, you start realizing it'll be like, oh, you know what I'm saying? He's like this, he's like that because maybe he doesn't, you know what I'm saying? He doesn't wear Jordans. He doesn't do this, you know what I'm saying? He's not talking like, he's not talking about this, you know what I'm saying? And I think I think it's interesting. So I think it's either, and then you can take that information, you know what I'm saying, and what is it, whatever it is you're trying to do, you know what I'm saying. This and that. I try not to be limiting in a way, you know what I'm saying. So, um, which I never got a good answer. I never got a good. I didn't get a good answer yesterday. It was,
Well, is that why you turned me around and let them know that it wasn't the white girl you was talking to? Because it was the one.
and to be funny, and to be crazy, to be perfectly honest, and not even like being super personal, but I was like, I was like, I thought it was interesting. They never really could, and I said, well, by the way, I said, I've never, I've never, I've never, I've never talked to anybody outside of my race. You know what I'm saying? Not for any specific reason. You know what I'm saying? Other than I'm never. I was like, I'm just never. I'm always around like my friends. I'm not out. I'm not super social. You know what I'm saying? I'm out in big. It's just when I say super social, I'm not like, I don't go out in big groups and stuff. You know what I'm saying? I go out and chill by myself and stuff. But I'm in and out. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I'm in and out typically. You know what I'm saying? So it's not that. Uh, it's not that there was it was intentionally like that. It's just this is I looked up my years on Earth, and this is what this is where we're at. You know, it's, it's where we're at. You know, and but I think that's the same thing. I think it's the same concept. Somebody walking into a room and you know what I'm saying having an assumption about you. I think for the most part, I think we can tell. We should be able to tell when people are malicious. Me, in the past I've acted before, assuming something and was completely wrong. You know what I'm saying? Completely wrong. You know what I'm saying? To the point where it's like even at that, you know what I'm saying, having to apologize, you know, because I do feel like that. I do feel like if somebody is you know, I don't know, misjudged or something, I think that an apology should be given. Hey man, I'm sorry, you know. But I was completely wrong. And it's happened on more than one occasion. You know what I'm saying? And I'm talking about to the point where there was emotional response, you know what I'm saying, which possibly drove other responses, you know what I'm saying? And was completely wrong. So when we talk about growing up, when we talk about maturing, sometimes, you know, we right, you know what I'm saying? And there was probably people right now, you know what I'm saying? The Pacers lost, by the way. I just had to check.
They did?
Yeah.
What's the score?
So, 123 to 107. That's good. OKC did what they were supposed to do. You know what I'm saying? They did what they were supposed to win at home. So, but man, there's people. I bet you there were people yelling at the TV, saying what the coach should be doing, saying what the adjustments that the players should be making in real time. And I'm like, hey man, if you could apply, you know what I'm saying, that kind of real time assessment to yourself.
Bada bing, bada boom.
So I said, man, you know, I'm gonna get up here, I'm gonna get out here, and I'm just gonna ask. I'm just gonna ask questions. You know what I'm saying? So, when they say that, you know, and I always give a smile. You know, like okay. So what makes you think? So and then you got to know, like, do I exclusively talk to these you know, these type of girls, and I exclude these kind? You know, it's all over the place, man.
I mean, I asked, yeah. But then again, in the back of my head, I'm just like, why are we talking about this? Why are we not like having a different conversation? And you're explaining myself.
I don't think there's. I think in meeting people, I think we're so. Sometimes
you say we mean
people.
We the people.
Yeah, people, just people in general. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people in general have enough experience getting to know people. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know.
Yeah, and I think so. So it's like somebody doesn't know me to ask a question. Why? Like, I don't want to discourage anybody from asking me questions. You know what I'm saying? Because
I mean,
if you assume something,
but at a point in time, when that person starts doing it over and over and over,
what?
There's some time. I mean, just saying anything.
Like if I went back over there
about you, just making assumptions about you and just speaking it out loud, and it's like, hey, why you keep saying that? Like, that's not me. Like, I don't do that. Like, and if they continue to say that, that's what I'm talking about.
Like if they continue to say, like, you talk white.
I mean, I'm not even talking about that. I just use that as an example. Like, it's something I heard of. It's just like, you know, when you first meet somebody and you have the assumption about them, or, you know, and you start asking questions, and it's like, how about getting to know that person first before you start asking questions like that, or before you start assuming?
I think if you want to get into, I think because now, and this is what we're talking about. This is kind of what we were talking about yesterday, and this is just a this is a thought. This is a rough draft. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But I don't think we deal with people as individuals anymore. You know what I'm saying? I don't I don't deal with, I'm not, and this is just a generalization. I'm not going to deal with you fancy. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to deal with you black woman. You know what I'm saying? So now what it is this belief that I have about
Mm-hmm.
this particular group, I'm going to apply to you. And then what I'm going to find is, out of the 100 of you guys, you know what I'm saying, that I apply this in this group, over half of you are going to be offended because you don't even, you know what I'm saying, that's not even you, but still you kind of I identify with the group but treat me as an individual. And I don't know how possible that is. You know what I'm saying? I think I think one of there was I was sweeping the kitchen one day, and uh I was sweeping under the, under the cabinet, you know what I'm saying, on the little center island or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and a spider ran out. I mean, I had that broom. I was trying to, like, I was trying to murder this thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was I was I was
What
trying
was
to
you doing?
pound this thing to the center of the earth.
What was
You
you
know what I'm
doing?
saying? Huh?
What were you doing?
I had the broom because the bristles, you know what I'm saying? The bristles are soft. So I just wanted to make sure I wanted to make sure it destroyed this thing, man. You know what I'm saying?
I can't believe it.
And I'm gonna
You want to
tell you, man.
go on, smash into dust.
Thank God though, it lived. You know what I'm saying? It lived. Yeah, yeah. It lived. And
Wait, why you say thank God it lived if you was trying to kill it? Trying to
because like when
destroy it.
because when I lifted it up, because when I lifted the broom up, I looked and he scurried away. You know what I'm saying? And I could have got him again. I could have stepped on him. You know what I'm saying? But I was like, wait a minute. It was like I had a chance to think about it again. You know what I'm saying? I was like, I was like, I was like, why do I hate him so much? You know what I'm saying? Like, why? I mean, hey, 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 man, everything, everything, man. Like, I was trying to eliminate this thing
Crazy.
off the planet. But as I'm sitting there, and I said,
And
wow,
then
I
got mad
have
after
I have a
yourself.
preconcept. For one, I'm terrified of spiders. You know what I'm saying? I am afraid of spiders. You know.
You gotta get let's side note serious
But and
real
then
quick. Hey, you moved the
but then
mic
I'll
away.
tell you why I'm afraid of spiders. I'm afraid of spiders. You know what I'm saying? Because, especially, I really didn't have a big fear until they started talking about we had brown recluse here,
I,
and I said,
I saw one yesterday. Not yesterday, but last week.
"You said what?"
We saw one last week, yesterday.
See,
My brother saw us.
so let me tell you. So
Shit I'm about to be dealing with here.
let me tell you, man. I saw that thing, and I saw the damage that it can do, and I said, it's crazy how something this little can have you in the hospital. You know what I'm saying? Fighting for your life. You know what I'm
Mm,
saying? So
yes.
I got to a point where I was like, hey man, I don't have time to be flipping it over and looking to see if it has an hourglass on its belly, and you know what I'm saying, if it has fur in between. I don't have time for none of that. So to me, I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. I said I'm gonna treat everything with 8 legs like this. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? I'm gonna treat everything with 8 legs like this.
I'm
So
sorry.
so that's where that's where I got to, and I was like, wow, this is a granddaddy long leg. You know what I'm saying? this thing isn't hurting anybody or anything, you know. But this granddaddy long leg, I am treating it like it's a brown recluse. You know what I'm saying? This is real. Like this is 100%. This is 100% facts. You know what I'm saying? And
You did treat it like it was a brown
I did,
recluse?
I did, and that's why I said thank God. You know what I'm saying? I said, God, thank God I missed. You know what I'm saying? Or think that thing is resilient.
all
And
that stuff, and you didn't kill it. Missing it.
so now I'm sitting there. Now I'm sitting here, and you know I'm starting to think about it, and I'm like, because I let it run away. You know what I'm saying? And it was kind of one of the things like, all right, you know what I'm saying? You stay under there. You know what I'm saying? And I know because here's the reality, man. Spiders serve a purpose. You know what I'm saying? They have a purpose. And you know what I'm saying? So now we start getting into that. You know, we're like, wow, man, they
Okay.
they you know what I'm saying, they can keep your insect population down. You know what I'm saying? Like there's a lot of things that, you know what I'm saying, that they do. Matter of fact, a granddaddy long leg is going to do more. They're going to help you more than harm. At the end of the day, there's nothing but upside. You know what I'm saying, when it comes to, let me say, to the best of my knowledge, you know. So now I'm sitting here and I'm thinking and I'm saying, wow, man, here is this thing that for one, it's not. I know for a fact it's not what I'm treating it as. I'm treating it like it's a brown recluse, and it is not a brown recluse. You know what I'm saying? But I'm trying to eliminate this thing off the face of the earth. You know what I'm saying? And not only that, if I do eliminate it, you know what I'm saying, what happens if, you know what I'm saying?
Imagine you said off the face of the earth.
Off the face of the earth. Off the face of the earth, man. I hope they have a heaven for spiders. You know what I'm saying? But it was one of those. Yeah. So it's one of those things. Like, I'm treating this thing as a brown recluse. You know, it's clearly not. I can tell. I'm 100%. I'm 100% confident it is not that. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, there is an upside to having this spider around. But still, I am having to convince myself not to kill this thing. You know what I'm saying? Because I want to. You know. So like people laugh because whenever I see, now I'm getting better. You know what I'm saying? I've definitely progressed where I'm not like just grabbing like brooms and just trying to kill, you know what I'm saying, kill everything, you know, and kill everything. But I've gotten better. I've started like trapping them a little bit, trapping spiders with a cup. You know what I'm saying? Taking them outside.
I can't get that close yet.
So
you know what I started doing?
So let me tell you. Go ahead.
Huh?
I say go ahead.
Oh no, what I started doing, and I was afraid of them, was trapping. I just found that you start doing that bees.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, I was so afraid to do that, but yeah, I finally trapped them.
Okay.
In a jar when you get like this.
But one of the things that I said is, So I get out here and there's all these different groups, right? And
Mhm.
there's people that identify with in groups, you know what I'm saying? Regardless of what it is, black,
So,
white, Christian, Republic, straight, gay, you know what I'm saying? There's all these, I'm a Android, Apple, you know, foreign cars, muscle cars, new builds versus older homes. There's an infinite amount of sets or groups, right?
yes.
And so what I was saying, and I think people look at it because they think that there's the values are different. So I said, man, I can keep murking spiders. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I bet you said
I
Birkin.
keep murking them. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, think about it, man. I mean, it's like you know, Ted was just walking across the floor, man. This dude just came out of nowhere, like started smashing them up. You know what I'm saying? Like he was just crossing the street. You know what I'm saying? His dude came up and just started smashing them up. And then I'm just sitting over there, and what am I saying? Well, you don't belong here. You know what I'm saying? starts starts to sound familiar a little bit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh
So
my
so
gosh,
so
this is so
so
crazy.
what
He
I
was just
said
crossing
is
the
I said,
street.
man,
He
if
was
there's
crossing
this
the street,
spider,
huh?
if there's this spider sitting over here, you know what I'm
Mhm.
saying, that no threat, you know what I'm saying? Matter of fact, it's a benefit, you know what I'm saying? It's a
Mhm.
benefit to them. And they're no threat. And I can't figure out a way to coexist. How can I expect somebody else to do that? You know what I'm saying? When I'm the spider, or my kids are the spider. You know what I'm saying?
Ugh.
So me, I work through that, and I feel like when you start sitting down and you start working through things like that, there's a lot that you start learning. There's a lot you start learning. I think you start figuring out, and
Mhm.
when you start talking about, there's no way when we start talking about like compassion for humanity, compassion for human beings.
Mhm.
uh
Sorry.
I think some of that came from that self discovery a little bit, but that's my spider story.
Yeah, I'm not there yet. I
Yeah.
still kind of am
Well, it's
terrified.
not it's not the spider. It's the things that we say. You know what I'm saying? Like if I was to be like, hey man, why you gonna kill that spider? It looks dangerous. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So
It
so
looks
so take that.
dangerous.
So take that and switch it. And that's not a spider anymore. You know what I'm saying? That's a,
Mm.
that's a human being. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just saying there's got to be steps. There's got to be steps that we had to take where it's like, hey man, looking dangerous, that's an internal problem. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Because just like that spider, it may look dangerous to you because of, I don't know, I saw my mom get bit by a brown recluse. And I'm not gonna take the time to go study all the different species of
Mm.
of of
Mhm.
spiders and how to identify them and all that. So you know what? The safest thing, and this is absolutely true. The absolute safest thing for me to do, you know what I'm saying,
Mm.
is to treat if I'm not going to do the research to get to know, like, hey, Mr. Spider, are you poisonous? You know what I'm saying? Are you going to hurt my family and my kids? If I
Mhm.
don't take the time to do that, and I'm just going to treat everybody, like a brown recluse, you know,
Mm.
how can I I then have to, in some way, shape, or form, I have to then understand when people do it to people, because they don't want to take the time to get to know you. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to take the time to act. And sometimes maybe that's what they're doing is they're asking these questions, you know what I'm saying? But we have these you know, based off, you know, these group identities and all that. We have uh what do you call them? Like preset responses. You know what I'm saying? When somebody does this, you do this. I don't care why they did it. When they do this, when you see this action, you deploy this tactic. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And that tactic, that tactic isn't necessarily efficient for maybe the intent behind the action, if there was any
Oh yeah,
intent at all.
no intent.
You know,
No.
you know. I mean, even with that, I was sweeping and I disturbed it. That's why it took off running. You know what I'm saying? It was already doing what I wanted to do. It was already chilling. It was already chilling.
Now
You know what
you're
I'm saying?
crossing
Under the
the
cabinet,
street.
out of sight. You know what I'm
You're
saying?
trying to cross the street.
You know, I pulled up knocking on doors and kicking windows in. You know what I'm saying? And this thing, they had to get up out of there. It's running for its life, man.
Break one of his legs. That's
But I
funny.
think with the whole with the 40, but I think with the 48 laws of power, I think the problem with that is it takes the problem with that is, you know what I'm saying, for one, I think you have to have an intent or will um to I was going to establish power, but there was another word I wanted to use, but I can't think of it right now.
That's crazy.
Um,
This is what it says on the back of the book. The best-selling book for those who want power, watch power, or want to arm themselves against power.
yeah, and power again. Matter of fact, let me. I kind of do these in my little meetings or whatever.
Mm.
Uh, um, so I always use whenever I'm like trying to define something. I try not to use my own. You know what I'm saying? So it's
Mm-hmm.
more or less like it's more or less like let me what do you call it? Let me what do they say? Level set? Is that what they say in the business world? Let's let's
Mm-hmm.
let's let's level set. You know
That
what I'm
level set.
saying?
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
So so
Mm-hmm.
Merriam-Webster's dictionary. This is the one I always use. Merriam-Webster. Uh,
Sure do.
Power. And typically, the definition two is kind of is is kind of, I think, what the book kind of goes for. I I think that it went from like authority to like power in some kind of way. That's just a rough
Mm-hmm.
thought, but so the number two definition for power is possession of control, authority, or influence over others.
Mm-hmm. That's the one. What else?
I was thinking of I was just thinking about the desire for power. You know what I'm saying? Um,
Mm. The desire for power. Mm-hmm.
it,
Everybody desires that.
it's definitely corrosive. It's definitely corrosive. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's I don't think that there's unfortunately, and this is the problem. I keep saying this is the problem. All this stuff ties together, but you have like let's take the universe for example. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, you have the universe for example, and the universe is vast. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it takes light years to get to the next galaxy. You know what I'm saying? Like it's this thing is big, and there's galaxies. There's stuff all over the place. You know what I'm saying? Out there,
Mm-hmm.
but we negate all of that. You know what I'm saying? When you look at the concept of the universe, we a lot of times when people talk, we limit it not only to planet Earth. You know what I'm saying? But also to the northern hemisphere, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
to North America, to the state we live in, you know what I'm saying, to the city we live in, to the block we live on. You know what I'm saying? That's how far it's zoomed in. And then we will create policies and ideas based off of that. You know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
but then once you start getting outside of that, it starts breaking apart. You know, and in all reality, so I say is a lot of times, and this is I keep going back and forth the whole anyway, but a lot of times, you know what I'm saying, when we talk about decisions in
Mm-hmm.
our world, you know what I'm saying? And our world is because we live in America, you know what I'm saying? And America happens to have an economy like this, which is capitalism. You know what I'm saying? That capitalism, for the most part, is the authority of decisions that get made. You know what I'm saying? We got homeless people over there that you know what I'm saying, we could do some things
We can definitely
for,
somewhere.
we could feed, we could shelter, but it's not going to turn a profit. You know,
Yeah.
we're not going to print money for that. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of times, man, a lot of decisions that get made, you know what I'm saying, with this with this idea of my block. You know what I'm saying? That's
Mm.
kind of what we see going on at the political level now is, you know what I'm saying, when I say the American people, I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, this little group. But once you start getting outside of that, everything starts breaking apart. There's a lot of holes.
Mm.
There's a lot of holes. You know what I'm saying? That start forming,
I
and that's
agree.
kind of, yeah, that's kind of what it is. So I say all that to say, humanity, humanity, man, is the universe. You know what I'm saying? It is ever growing. It's ever expanding. And what you find is these people that's trying to get power, they have no power in the world of humanity. None. Zero. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? You have to
Nada.
cage it. You have to cage it up. You have to put boundaries on something to establish power and authority. You know what I'm saying? So what you do is, what happens is, you have this, man, I wish I had my, you have this big idea of humanity, and then you have this little box. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
That everybody has to stay in. You know what I'm
Mm.
saying? Because that's our economy. That's you know what I'm saying? That's what pushes everything forward. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
So 48 laws of power, it's probably very potent, and it's probably very it is probably a guidebook when we start talking about the individual things like in this space, but
Mm.
out here, man, you're a tyrant. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
When it comes to humanity, you're a monster. You know what I'm saying? Because why do you want power? Why do you even desire to have power and authority, man, over the person next to you? That's crazy.
Yes, that right there.
So
Yeah.
so what happens, you know what I'm saying, with these people, you know what I'm saying, which sometimes I think a lot of supervisors fall victim to this, like in the workplace, is
Well,
they have the title, and the quote unquote authority, but they don't have the respect. You know what I'm saying? And it's super bad, and it's super bad. The reason why they don't have the respect is because there's typically somebody else on a team, probably at a lower level, you know what I'm
mm-hmm.
saying, that has the respect. And the reason why that bothers them is because these these people, he has more, and I don't want to use the word power, but he has more power naturally, voluntarily given by the people
Mm-hmm.
versus, you know what I'm saying,
Really?
this one that is expected.
Mhm. That's crazy.
I don't know, man.
Mhm.
I don't know,
How much time we
man.
got? Let's tell you how much time we got.
No. And let me tell you, man, we recorded the other. Remember the first time it did the little countdown? So it
Mm-hmm.
did a countdown and cut off on us. So I
Mm-hmm.
just thought, wow, man, these things are it's an hour limit.
Mm.
Maybe it was your first one. Maybe your first one that had the limit. But yesterday I looked. I think that was like an hour 30.
Really?
Yeah.
Hour and 30 minutes.
Yes.
No.
That's why when I got I apologize anybody that I got off abruptly because
No,
it
you're fine.
sounded like everybody was leaving, and I think everybody was leaving, and I think we probably had some connection issues. So I just called it.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
I
Mm.
No, I'm gonna tell you the reason why I called it is because, man, I get to talking, we're gonna go. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? I get to talking, I'm gonna go. So
This light is in my face. I'm gonna have to move it a little bit. It's a little bright. I had to do this to get it out my face.
I walked in here today, man. I said, okay, look, they had everything was set up nice. I said, okay.
Cause you in a different room, right?
Yeah,
Are you in a different
yeah,
room then? Mm.
yeah. And I wasn't even gonna record it. I was gonna record out there, um, in another room. There's two rooms I was thinking about. I totally forgot about it here.
Mm. Mm.
Yeah.
But yes,
Once this thing gets going, I have to find. I gotta find a building or something. Not a building, but I gotta find something I can set like a setup myself. You know.
yeah, and also, I mean, I don't mind coming there if you want to do how you used to do face to face.
Oh, you sit. Look right here. You'll be right there.
Oh,
Uh,
okay. Okay.
you'll be right there.
Okay.
Zoom this joker out. But yeah, so I don't know if I don't know if I don't know if we got through everything with the 48
I'm
laws.
no, I feel like I don't know. I don't want to read it. That's the thing. I don't know if I want to continue
I wouldn't
to.
read it.
Yeah, I don't think I
I, would,
want
I
to
wouldn't
continue.
read it unless you plan on, you know what I'm saying, unless you plan on operating in that world too.
Mm-hmm.
I think when it comes to some of this, like some of this business stuff, and you know what I'm saying, some of this other stuff, it's one of those, like, from a humanity standpoint. I feel like if I'm sitting in a room, I can tell when I'm sitting in a room with, and I don't want to say monk, but sharks. You know what I'm saying? I can tell when I jump in the water with sharks. You know what I'm saying? I,
Mm-hmm.
I, but man, we've been doing this so long, it doesn't bother me at all. You know, come up and Pat one on the nose every now and then. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, come on out that cage, man. Get out here and swim with. You know? Yeah.
Okay. Oh yeah. Remember I said I went to Greenwood?
Went where?
Greenwood for the Pride Festival.
Yeah.
And then I was helping.
What was that? That like pumpkin? What was that? Pumpkin spice or something? What is this?
No, oh, let me show you. This their card. I went rating.
It's not that I can't read. I was just waiting for it to get into focus.
Ooh, shit. Sorry. It's backwards.
What is it?
It's her like a business card type.
Oh. What did she do again? She did the
And like dry body oils, creamy oils, body butters, soaps, magnesium oil, serums, uh, shampoo, just stuff for, your skin, hair. Got a lot of stuff, all natural, plant-based.
body butter is serious, man.
Mhm. Body creams and stuff. So yeah.
Okay. Did you get any? Did you get any? Or did you use
I
any?
did.
What is
I did get.
it?
Oh, hold on. Hold please.
Okay. I gotta figure out how to.
All right. So this is the creamy body oil, Paradise Drift. It has mango in it. This is the one that goes on cream, like a creamy body butter, but it looks like that, but it feels like oil, and it stays on like oil. So it's like a creamy oil. That's what it is, creamy oil.
Creamy oil.
Yeah.
What? So I mean, it absorbs rather than like.
Yeah. It looks like a cream, but it goes on like an oil. It doesn't leave. When you get oil, like oil.
With that oil.
What?
Uh, yeah. Yeah.
And
Yeah, I
it
like.
smells good. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
I had
light.
a
It's not like it's not thick, and my hands not greasy.
that's the key. That's the key. That's the key. I read in a lot of reviews is um that greasiness is left behind.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking for that with I saw that with some of them some hand lotions I was looking at.
It's the dry oil.
Dry oil.
Mm-hmm. The one that goes on, like I would say, it feels like lotion. This spray. What's this? Oh, this is hair conditioner. And then this is cleansing hair oil. So I got this for my locks. But yeah. And then I got like this face device. The massager. But this smells real good. That little bit I put on smells
Okay,
real good.
that's cool.
And it's crazy because she literally is making the things that I wanted to make. But yes, we're going to be using each other. I won't say using each other, but working together.
You're gonna your your mark, your victim.
Who?
I was I was just I was just joking. I said you can go apply that 48 laws of power, man. Be like, yeah, I'm gonna
Teach me
my
everything.
next my next mark, next victim.
No, nah. Me and her is we gonna make it. We gonna do some good things. We already can see it. We know we are perfect.
It's good,
But no,
man.
this is cool. But yeah, this 48, I was told it's the Bible to the in jail.
You said what?
It's the Bible.
I mean,
Because
it's probably right.
some, but yeah, we can stop talking about that. But yeah,
I mean,
do this.
I found a lot of I found a lot of peace and a lot of less stress. I just don't I just rather not play the game. I just don't play none of the games with people. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
And unfortunately, like environments like that, man, you gotta play.
Gotta play the game.
Yeah.
Yes,
Man.
sports. Well, we're looking at
I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to see how long this has been on. Yeah. We can call.
Oh, you got yourself watching it too? Is that what you've been doing?
Yeah, no, I turned it on because I was trying to see what the timer where the timer was at, if it had it.
Oh,
I'm just trying to figure this thing. I'm just playing. We're just playing with this thing, man.
mm-hmm.
Yeah. But
So,
yeah,
uh,
would I recommend you? Okay, okay. Wait a minute. you know, do do I recommend you to read 48 Laws of Power? No. I would not I would not get into playing games because you gotta understand once you start playing games, you got to keep playing. You know what I'm saying? You can't just say, "All right, time out." You know what I'm saying? I'm done. Once you start, you got to keep going. So, especially I think with what you're trying to do, with the farm, you know what I'm saying, all that kind of stuff. I I don't think you have to go into business mode or this mode or that mode. I believe you can just you know what I'm saying? You can just do you. You know what I'm saying? Let them be the monsters and the sharks. You know what I'm saying?
oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
That's what I'm gonna try to do. This, you know, um, the the little the little app thing.
Oh, how's that going?
It's going good.
Really?
I'm working on I'm working on doing doing some wireframe mock-ups.
Mm-hmm.
The hardest part, man, is like I've been trying to find I just want to find a mentor in the tech field. You know what I'm saying? That I can talk to because I don't want to waste no I don't want to do something that's not applicable. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to take 5 steps when I only need to take 2. You know what I'm saying? So
Um, I might be able to get you because the lady that I'm working with, she retired from DFAS. her husband used to work for Dell. I don't know if that might be a good thing or not, but if you want, I can.
So like there's a lot of questions. There's a lot of questions I have for the route I'm wanting to go. So we're seeing like we're seeing the tech industry. The tech industry is it's like it, they've demo they've is it demolition demo they've destroyed the building. You know what I'm
Oh
saying? You
yeah.
know when they blow the building and then they build something back up. The
Mm-hmm.
old tech industry is destroyed. You know what I'm saying? It's gone. So it's being reconstructed to some degree. So it's like I need to talk to somebody on that end of it. I don't want to talk to anybody selling a class. You know what I'm saying? Because they've already moved on. You know what I'm saying? Like this is old news, low key. So I need to talk to somebody that's in it. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this idea. You know what I'm saying? And I say that because a it's not like, oh, I'm doing what they're doing. I'm just like making mine round instead of square. You know what I'm saying? Like it's not like that. It's kind of a I don't want to say a new
Mhm.
concept, but it's definitely unique. So I need a coach
Mm.
that has done it. You know what I'm saying? I'm not talking about they built like a Microsoft Access, you know what I'm saying, calculator. You know what I'm saying? That everybody in the organization use, and now they're like a guru. That's not what I'm talking about.
Yes, I could ask her. If
I need somebody. I got
she used to
real
work,
questions. I got real questions I need to ask.
and she's IT. She's IT. Hell, she can.
A lot of people. I mean, I'm IT unofficially.
Yeah, she was our Scrum Master.
Yeah.
Yeah, handle
Hey,
stuff.
man, even with all those little things, I keep starting this thing back up. But even with all those little things, those little like what is it? What is it? Waterfalls and
Now,
scrums and yeah,
yes,
huddles.
technical
All this.
analysis, business case,
Hey man, you
finance,
know how many times? You know how many
analysis.
times? You know how many times we've gone through the process and the whole time it's like this is messed up, man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I'm saying. The business. That's why I keep telling people they do not want what is coming or what is trying to emerge on a political level because it doesn't even work. It doesn't even work down here. You know what I'm saying?
No.
It's manipulated after the fact, but organically it doesn't work, and it's not even working at this level. You know what I'm saying?
Mm. And then it's like, but who makes it? Well, sure. Who makes that decision? So who gonna step up? You gonna be brave? Step up.
Step
You say
up for what?
try to change the world. Try to change the world.
I am. I've been trying to get the first thing I want to do is so this is a big part of it. Definitely, this has to be. I walk in the store, I jump on, and you start talking on this. Nobody knows me. You know what I'm saying? Even stuff you're doing, they don't know you. But I feel like some of these conversations kind of give that opportunity. But hopefully, what I want to do is take this and here locally, at least. I want to start. I told you about the political education thing. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
just think that nobody's into it because nobody right now because nobody knows how to profit off of it. You know what I'm saying? It's not. It's not anything. You know what I'm saying that you can. It's nobody. No, I don't want to say nobody's doing it, but it's it's not big. You know what I'm saying? There's
Mhm.
there's there's not a way to create a nonprofit to you know what I'm saying do this and do that and basically make a profit off it. So nobody really cares about it. You know what I'm saying? We'll just keep doing all these other you know what I'm saying programs. You know, but I do want to get some political education going. If nothing else, like the first level at least of just 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 creating some educated voters. You know what I'm saying? Just create some educated voters.
But when you say creating educated, meaning like them having knowledge of the candidates, what they stand for, like that type, or
Not I don't care. We're not. I don't want to get into. I don't want to get into like Republicans and Democrats and all that kind of stuff. But I don't think people know where to go to research candidates. You know what I'm saying? I don't think I'm pretty sure in some way, shape, or form there's probably a list of seg there's probably a list of categories that are just typically that are in our country, like education, foreign policy, um, you know, infrastructure, views on state versus federal oversight, just things like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't think people I don't think they know how vast, you know what I'm saying, that is. So it's really just creating educated voters. I mean, back in the day, man, like when we start talking about like, back when people couldn't vote, you know what I'm saying, and things like that. I mean, these guys before all of the technology that we have today, man, I believe that these guys were like way more educated than we are today. You know what I'm saying? I'm just
like the political,
the
or we talking
voters,
about
the
the
voters.
voters? Oh,
Yeah.
okay, I
Voters
see.
out here knew what they were voting for. You know what I'm saying? Here, the people, these aren't voters. These are fans. You know what I'm saying? And that's the name of the game now. Is get you some loyal fans and just go. You know what I'm saying? Just go. But nobody. I don't think. I don't think these are. I don't think we're as. I don't think there's as many educated voters. You know what I'm saying? As there should be.
Because no one, it, you know how like I feel like I don't know. You know how you get into the electoral vote and the popular vote, and then I think that kind of messed up everything when people found out what that was. But as far as like what's what a candidate can do for them within their local or their hometown and all that stuff.
But most people aren't even voting for that. They like, you know what I'm saying? Most people,
Yes, that's
yeah.
that's what I was about to say.
So I don't even right now, I'll be honest with you. This presidential stuff, that's way too high level for the general population. Way too high level. We don't even know who our state representatives are. You know what I'm saying? We don't know who our, I keep wanting to say student council, but uh, but we don't know who our local representatives are. They're we don't know our local reps. We don't know their duties and responsibilities. We don't know what these offices, you know what I'm saying, what their duties and responsibilities are. You know what I'm saying? And on top of that, man, when we start talking about that, then we don't know what to do when a certain, you know what I'm saying, when certain agencies aren't performing, you know what I'm saying, their duties and responsibilities. You know what I'm saying? So there's just a lot of ignorance. And not saying this in a bad way, but there's just a lot of ignorance that's going on that people are being taken advantage of. That is the reality. And I say that because um I'm gonna say this and I'm gonna say this and then we'll cut it because we'll be here all night. But
See, I went and got
oh,
something to eat because I'm
I
ready.
think I don't. Did I say this when we were talking about the return to work, the return to office? Why I said the return to office was? Remember, I think I said, man, the return to office. It was it's like a conspiracy to me. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
And like I said, I think I don't think it has anything. Here's what we learned. Here's
Mm-hmm.
one thing that we learned. Okay, we learned that when people went home, you know what I'm saying, the work was being done way better. It was done more efficiently. You know what I'm saying? It was being done quick. You know what I'm saying?
And it
And
was proven.
honestly, what I feel,
It was
huh?
proven. It was proven.
Yeah, proven. That there's no denying that. You know what I'm saying? But yet and still, you know what I'm saying, the global the nationwide effort to return to offices, and even to the point where they started like bad mouthing. You know what I'm saying? Like they were like they were like bad mouthing, you know what I'm saying, people that work from home. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like our country, we're good for that. You know what I'm saying? We're definitely good for that. But I think personally, I think there was a sense of loss of control. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't have you in this building. I don't have you in this building or whatever for 8 hours. You know what I'm saying? Where I can do with you what I like. You know what I'm saying? I don't have that control over you. And when I say like loss of control, I'm talking about. I think that I think people were getting healthier. You know what I'm saying? I think people were happier. You know,
Yeah.
I think that people were having an opportunity to enjoy life. I think people had an opportunity to be individuals. I think people had more than enough time to start exploring, you know what I'm saying, hobbies and, you know what I'm saying, all these other things that was taking away from the control or dependency
Yes.
on the
Mm-hmm.
workplace. You know what I'm saying? And personally, I feel like that was a bigger threat. You know what I'm saying? You start talking about when you start talking about the upper echelons a little bit, or when you start talking about power a little bit. You know, if I have if I know, you know what I'm saying, I got my batteries are running, you know what I'm saying, and together that's 15 volts. And when them jokers are running, you know what I'm saying, these lights are bright. But what I'm
Mm-hmm.
starting to notice is these lights are starting to dim down. You know what I'm saying? I don't have 15 volts. I don't have the same power running through here. They're flickering a little bit. They're dimming down. I don't have that power anymore. You know what I'm saying? We gotta figure that out because this is threatening. This is threatening my livelihood. You know what I'm saying? This is threatening my self-esteem. You know what I'm saying? So we got to get control. We got to get control, man. We got to control these individuals. You know, I know it doesn't. I know it doesn't make sense. I know you were waking up every morning. You know what I'm saying? And you were able to go to the gym for an hour and a half. You know what I'm saying? And not be sleepy because you could wake up, go to the gym. You know what I'm saying? And get back in time. You know what I'm saying? That you could log on and do all, you know what I'm saying, do everything you need to do. And you were right there. Rather, you didn't have to wake up as early or go to bed as, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, go to bed as early, you know what I'm saying? So
Think
now
about the job. That's gonna
I
affect
gotta
your head.
I gotta figure in these commutes, you know what I'm saying? I gotta get dressed, so I gotta get out by, you know what I'm saying? I just feel like they were losing control. I felt
Mm-hmm.
like overall, cause everybody, you know, when people start chanting, you know what I'm saying, when they came up with when they came up with the acronym RTO, I said, oh man, these guys these guys have been talking on the phone and they've lost control. They've lost control of the people. People are starting to wander off. You know what I'm saying? Some people then left. They didn't escape the prison, and we can't
Man,
find them anymore.
can't
We gotta do something, guys.
gone. We
Yeah,
losing control.
yeah,
Control. So
yeah,
yeah.
man. Great chat, man. Great
Yeah.
chat.
Yeah.
Another one in the books. Wait, this 2 in a row.
This is 3. Unless
Okay.
we starting over. We could
Okay.
it could be 2. We starting
Okay.
over.
Okay. Okay.
We
Okay.
can start over. So it's 2.
Yeah,
It's 2.
it's 2. This is 2. This is just
It's,
3 altogether, but
it's
it's 2,
2.
right?
I wish I could turn this on. Hey, I'm gonna have it working next time. For real. Mic check 1, 2.
My chat with
You
you.
got that?
Thank you. Thank you for I need to start introducing myself. You know when I
Thank
was
you
doing the
guys for
pod,
joining
when I was doing my
on.
podcast, it used to always be weird and hard trying to. I don't like intros. I don't know. I have a problem probably with formality. I probably have an issue
Yes.
with it. I
Yeah.
don't like being.
Just flow
So it's just
with
like
it.
to get
Flow.
on and be like, "Hey everybody, welcome to Deface the Currency. I'm your host Frederick." Yeah, I don't. That's not. I don't like it. I don't like the way it sounds. You know what I'm saying? It automatically throws me off.
Oh, this is a smooth operator.
It turns it into something, man. I like to come in like I'll be like, man, I I come in and freestyle this whole thing, but great
That's
conversation, man.
that's the best thing. I like when we freestyle
Yeah,
because the part is a lot. Well, we just thought about that today.
I and I
Tomorrow,
gotta say, man,
let's not think of something, even though I know you're gonna think of something.
I'm definitely gonna think it's about. I'm
Why
definitely
are
gonna
you scratching that?
now tonight. Now tonight, remember, I didn't think we was going. I definitely didn't think we were going to be talking about politics at all, but it all fits.
That's you.
All of this stuff ties.
You talked about politics.
You, all of this,
That's not good.
all
Mhm.
of this stuff, kind of goes together though. But
Mhm.
humanity first, man. That's the key. And I thank you. I was thinking about that. I said, man, I I, I appreciate. I appreciate you jumping on here, man. This is tough for some people to do, man. Especially like
Re- re-
live in real time.
Really? Oh,
People don't even like. People don't even like when you set the cameras up. You know what I'm saying? And it's not, and it's recorded. And you, I don't like doing a lot of editing anyway. But yeah, when you this is this is hard. This is hard. But it's hard. It, it's hard when you are again when we talk about that group identity. You know what I'm saying? When
mhm.
I don't know, like if you've ever like written like when you write code, you can have like a you can have like private, you can have like, you know what I'm saying, private, I was gonna say variables, but private or public, right? So,
Yeah.
oh man, dang it, where was I getting ready to go with that? But anyway, when you have these groups, they inherit, you know what I'm saying? They inherit the characteristics of the group that they identify
Yes.
with.
Yes.
People are like concoctions though because they
Mhm.
identify with multiple things. You know what I'm
Mhm.
saying? So it's like a mixed drink, a cocktail. You know what I'm saying? Every individual is a cocktail of all these like identities that you know what I'm saying that they identify with. And never do they ever say like never do I look up and say, what do you mean? Like I'm Frederick. Treat me as such. You know what I'm saying? Treat me as such. But see,
Yes.
nobody knows what that is. You know what I'm saying? You're an employee. You know what I'm saying? You're a customer. You are a man. You are a black man. You know what I'm saying? You are you know what I'm saying? And then that's how they treat you. But
Mhm.
very few people learn how to treat you as individuals. So that's that's that. And unfortunately, like I said, that's evident when you come up with when you come up with a book like 48 Laws of Power. There's no names in it. It's just, you know what I'm saying? People and how, this is how you treat people. If this is what you want, this is how you treat people, and this is how you get there.
And that's crazy.
But I'm gonna tell you, man. Everybody has a natural. Everybody has a natural enemy, and
yeah.
I don't the people that the people that well, I think I was talking about when we was talking about the supervisor thing. I think the people that would utilize that book are not they're typically they're in all honesty not the most powerful people in the room, which is why they have to establish.
Okay.
But yeah, but I appreciate it, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
We got another one in the books. We'll hit it again.
So day 2.
Yeah.
All right, mic check 1, 2.
That's stupid. Anyway, all right, man.
All right.
All right.
I hit you.
All right.
All right, bye.
Bye.